Hello everyone, Josh Myers here, and welcome back for another Bloodmoon news video. And today, the director of Halloween Ends, David Gordon Green, has actually made some comments regarding the backlash for the film. Now, like I said in the intro, the director of the new Halloween trilogy, the Blumhouse trilogy, David Gordon Green, who directed Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends, in the interview made some statements regarding the backlash and regarding just the direction he wanted to take for this trilogy. So let's dive into what he says. These were regarding the direction he wanted to take, and he said, and I will admit some of these comments are a bit weird, sometimes off-putting, so let's see what he has to say. So David Gordon Green said, in regards to being asked about the direction he was taking for the final film of this trilogy, cool make you scratch your head, because you know that there is a path of destruction, and it doesn't end with a guy in a mask. It's something dark, disturbing, and fascinating. And honestly, for me, in regards to that comment he made, I think it is very head-scratching, more so, and honestly, I think kind of insensitive. If that was his inspiration for Halloween Ends, is school and everything like that, which is a problem that we've been dealing with lately in our society. In real life, I think that is honestly very much so, like, it's just in poor taste. I think he should have rephrased it or something. It's just very poor taste, but that's just me. And then he went on talking about how, again, with the marketing of this film, which here's the thing for me. I get why some people didn't like Halloween Ends. I loved Halloween Ends personally for how different it was, and you know that it was a breath of fresh air for me personally. In fact, it's probably my favorite of the David Gordon Green, the Blumhouse trilogy. I could see why some people didn't like it, especially with how the film was advertised. The film was advertised as a final confrontation between Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, and that's not what this film is, so he kind of talks about that. And he says, we had to decide how to wrap up these characters, how we want to make it not just a nice, neat bow on a franchise. Honestly, we've never even considered making a Laurie and Michael movie. And honestly, for me, that is kind of odd. Like, here's the thing. If I was David Gordon Green, and here's the thing, I really do respect him for wanting to do something different with that. Something unexpected, and I loved it. I loved the film for that. But I think it's kind of odd that he never had that cross his mind, especially when the marketing really showcased it as a Michael Myers vs. Laurie Strode movie. I think if I was David Gordon Green, I should have been really paying attention to how the film was being marketed, go to the higher ups and be like, hey, you're marketing the film wrong. Like, you're mismarketing the film. That's not how the film is, and you're just setting up the film for a potential failure. And then he went on saying the concept with that. He went on saying the concept that it should be a final showdown type brawl. Never even crossed our minds. I wanted to see what it would show. I wanted one to live and one to die. We were always more ambitious than that. Here's the thing. I get that he wanted to be more ambitious than just having be, again, like a 2-hour film about Michael Myers versus Laurie Strode. I get that, and I totally respect it for that. But honestly, this comment kind of contradicts itself in my personal opinion. You know, he said that he didn't want it to be just another final showdown type brawl type of movie, but he did said he wanted one to live, one to die. I don't know, that to me that kind of contradicts himself. I think he should rephrase that different too. Now, I don't know if it was this article that is making him sound like this, or if it was just how he actually said it. I don't know, but for me, I think that's kind of weird. I think he should have just said that, because to me, I felt like a lot of that final showdown just was thrown in there at the last minute, in my opinion, because that's not what this movie was meant to be. And honestly, I felt like it was filmed for the marketing of the film, because that's all the film really showed, was that last 20 minutes of the film, showcasing the fight, like the fighting between Michael Myers and Laurie Strode. So let's move on. He was asked like why the film ended up being kind of very sexual and sensual, and this is what he has to say. So he asked himself, how did he want to go out? By doing what no one else would do, and that's by making a love story. He also points out that he always wanted to tell a love story, and that's what this film is actually. This film is a drama involving the character Corey Cunningham, played by Rohan Campbell, and his kind of descent into madness and everything. While at the same time, the other half of the film is a love story between him and Allison, portrayed by Annie Matichak, and that's what this film is. And I think if the marketing advertised the film as that and not this final showdown between Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, the film might have done better in regards, because it would have been advertising the film correctly. In fact, I may actually do a trailer, like make a fan-made trailer for Halloween Ends that really would market the film in the way that the film really is. I'd market it as a drama, psychological thriller movie with a love story element. I would try to really make a trailer that advertises that. And he also kind of sends his praises to the film Halloween 3 Season of the Witch and how he loves that movie. And here's the thing, I love Halloween 3 too. In fact, Halloween 3, if you would see my ranking, is my second favorite film of the franchise. Again, I love Halloween 3, I loved how different it was, but there are at least two differences between Halloween 3 and Halloween Ends. The difference is being that Halloween 3 Season of the Witch was not marketed as a Michael Myers movie. In fact, if you actually look at the trailers, and I'll post a link to both trailers in the comments below. In fact, hell, I'll probably do kind of a comparison video on my main channel, which I'll link to in the description box below, so for you to check out. But if you look at the trailers for Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, it is clearly showing this is not a Michael Myers movie. There's no mention of Michael Myers. There's no, Michael Myers isn't even showcased. Dr. Loomis made an appearance in it. Jamie Lee Curtis is in the film as Laurie Strode. So it's very much showcasing that Halloween 3 was a brand new story in this universe, which I still don't get the backlash for it when it came out. I mean, you saw the trailer, what were you expecting? Whereas with Halloween Ends, I can get why people end up being pissed off with this film, because the film was very heavily edited, very heavily marketed as being a Michael Myers, like a final showdown between Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, which is not what this film is. Again, like I said, this film is a psychological suspense drama movie with a love story element thrown in. And Michael Myers is barely in the film. So that's what this film is, and that's how I feel like they should have marketed the film. Again, I love the film, and I respect David Gordon Green for trying to, he essentially, with this entire trilogy, he essentially wanted to make films that he wanted to make the films that he wanted to make. He didn't want to make just fan service type films, even though I felt like Halloween Kills was kind of fan servicey a bit, with all the different legacy characters that just ended up to nothing, especially for the most part. Especially Nancy Stevens as Marion Chambers. She was basically wasted. She was just... And here's the thing, I love Halloween Kills too. Don't get me wrong, but I can acknowledge that problem. In fact, he also went on to say that the original ending he had for Halloween Ends was going to take place at this Max factory, and it turned out it would have been a Silver Shamrock Novelties factory, and you would have seen them pumping out, the Silver Shamrock Max, the Pumpkin Witch and Skull from Halloween 3, and you would have seen them pumping out Michael Myers Max, which is a part of the theory that Michael Myers is a product of the Silver Shamrock Novelties company in regards to that, and that's how, it would showcase that the Max is what gives Michael his power and strength and that. And but the reason he didn't go about it is because of the fact that there were just way too many fans wanting that, and he didn't want Halloween Ends to be just a fan service movie. So for me, that's really unfortunate. I think that would have been really awesome, especially since I love that movie, and I thought that would have been really awesome callback and great return of that storyline of Halloween 3. It would have essentially made Halloween 3 Season of the Witch canon in the Halloween story, like the Michael Myers story. But because there were too many people who were wanting that and too many people who were making fan theories about that, David Gordon Green decided against it. And I think that is really a shame. I think if we just... yeah, it's kind of difficult with that. So overall, my thoughts on this is that I think some of his comments are very weird, again, with the whole school shooting stuff. I think that was very insensitive. That was his inspiration for this movie. Also, too, just other stuff, like, again, how he kind of contradicts himself in regards to how he didn't want it to be a Michael Myers versus Laurie Strode movie, but yet he wanted to see one die, one live. I'm not sure I'm not sure how much of this article was really just them trying to twist his words and try to make him sound like the bad guy or whatever with this, or this is stuff that David Gordon Green actually said and it was in full context. I have no idea. But tell me, guys. So tell me in the comments below, guys. Tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of this story, and what do you think of David Gordon Green's comments in regards to? Now, in my personal opinion, I am not a fan of fan toxicity. I had enough of that with the Star Wars fan base. That's why I kind of moved away from the Star Wars franchise in that regard, because that fan base was so damn toxic. And we're starting to see some of those levels of toxicity with the Halloween fan base. I mean, hell, there is a petition being made by fans who hated Halloween Ends. There is a petition being made for them to go and film the entire movie to the way that these angry fans want. And I think that's just toxic. Here's the thing. David Gordon Green made the film that he wanted to make. And do you really think that they're going to refilm a multi-million-dollar movie? No, they're not. They're not going to do that. And if you guys do if this petition works, and they do get it to where Blumhouse and Universal gets them to refilm Halloween Ends to have it be this Michael Myers versus Laurie Strode story, if this works, then this would make the Halloween fan base the most toxic fandom out there. Even worse than the Star Wars fandom, because even though there's been petitions made to reshoot the Star Wars sequel trilogy, or to decanonize the Star Wars sequel trilogy, like remove it from from the continuity, those petitions have not worked. They have not succeeded. If this succeeds, though, this would make the Halloween fan base the most toxic fan base out there. And I do not want that to happen. I do not want to see the horror community go down the path of the toxicity of the Star Wars fandom. Just don't do it. Here's the thing. It's okay to dislike a movie. It's okay if you don't like Halloween Ends. But there's a mature and respectful way to go about it. Do not harass the filmmakers involved. Do not harass the actors. Do not harass other horror fans who love Halloween Ends. Don't do that, okay? What do you guys think of David Gordon Green's comments? And also, too, do you agree with me about the fan toxicity and the backlash and how ridiculous it is? Whether you loved or hated Halloween Ends, again, I would like to know. And again, please be respectful in the comment section down below. I do not want any of that toxic bullcrap in the comments down, towards me or towards other people. This is meant to be a safe haven for fans and for fans of horror. So if I see any of that, your comments will be removed and your channels will be blocked. And before you go, if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. It will really help out the channel. And thank you guys for watching. And he's going to get you, he's going to get you. The boogeyman is coming.